Recent reports of China's sixth-generation fighter taking flight shook the aviation world. With no warning, only action, many assumed Beijing had seized the lead. Meanwhile, the U.S. appeared to pause its next-generation air dominance, NGAD program, fueling doubts about its progress. But what looked like a setback may have been silence before the storm. New revelations now suggest the U.S. program could be nearly a decade ahead of China. What secrets has America been hiding? What technologies place it so far in front? The backbone of U.S. air superiority has long been the F-22 Raptor. Built to dominate enemy skies, it can fly supersonic without afterburners, and was deemed so critical that Congress banned its export. Yet the fleet is aging. Introduced in 2005 with only 185 still in service. While threats continue to evolve, China is advancing not only in stealth fighters but also in long-range missiles and advanced surface-to-air systems, capable of striking American jets before they even enter hostile airspace. The U.S. answer was the NGAD program, more than just a fighter jet, but an entire system of systems. At its core, a powerful manned aircraft, supported by autonomous drones or loyal wingmen, to scout, attack, and take risks that pilots cannot. Born from DARPA's 2014 studies, the program promised unmatched stealth, speed, and sensor fusion. But debates raged. Some, like Elon Musk, declared the future belonged to drones, not manned fighters. The Air Force itself seemed uncertain, and by late last year, NGAD was quietly placed on hold. Many thought the age of piloted fighters was ending. Then came the twist. On March 21st, in a move that shocked defense analysts, President Trump awarded Boeing the contract to build America's most advanced fighter yet, the F-47. The decision came before top defense officials were even in place, an almost unheard-of commitment to such a major program. The message was clear: the U.S. isn't abandoning manned air power. Why? Geography. In Europe or the Middle East, air bases sit close to the fight. But in the Pacific, where a conflict with China looms largest, aircraft must fly vast distances over open ocean. Small drones lack the range and endurance. Even the F-35's 500-mile combat radius falls short. The F-47, by contrast, is expected to fly farther, faster, and strike deeper, perfect for the Pacific theater. As aviation analyst Bill Sweetman put it, whatever one's view of the F-22, it can't be replaced by a quadcopter. Drones may dominate localized conflicts like Ukraine, but when it comes to projecting power across oceans, only full-size fighters can deliver the reach, speed, and firepower America needs. The F-47 is more than a jet, it's a statement, a vote of confidence in the cockpit, in pilots, and in the enduring role of manned air power. For now, the future of global air superiority still belongs to the fighter pilot and the machine he commands. A human pilot in the cockpit, a choice that has sparked debate, especially among tech leaders who believe the future belongs to machines. Elon Musk, one of the loudest critics, has argued that fighter jets with human pilots are obsolete. Back in November, he posted on X that manned jets will be destroyed very quickly, insisting that autonomous drones are the real future of warfare. Despite such claims, the F-47's design reflects a different vision. While official details remain scarce, open-source information suggests it will be large, powerful, and optimized for long-range missions. Similar in concept to the legendary F-111 bomber aviation expert, Bill Sweetman notes that discussions about its engine point to a fighter much bigger than current models, capable of striking deep into enemy territory, particularly in the Pacific. That's exactly the kind of range many defense analysts believe is necessary. Justin Bronk, a senior fellow at the Royal United Services Institute, supports the Air Force's decision to design the F-47 as a large crewed aircraft. In the Indo-Pacific, vast distances between U.S. bases and potential battle zones make range essential. Small drones simply can't cover that ground. Bronk also highlights a key weakness of unmanned systems: their reliance on communications. In real combat, radio links can be jammed or severed, leaving machines blind. Human pilots, however, can adapt and make decisions on their own. Keeping a pilot in the cockpit isn't just about tradition, it's about control in the chaos of war. While drones and autonomous systems will play a growing role in support, handling surveillance, defense, or even striking targets, the F-47 shows that the Air Force still trusts human judgment in the most critical moments. That said, Bronk admits this choice brings challenges. higher costs, years of training, and the risk of dangerous rescue missions if a pilot is shot down. But relying entirely on drones, he argues, would be a gamble the U.S. military isn't ready to take. Not yet. The F-47 will fly with robotic wingmen known as Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCAs. These drones will act as teammates, but the jet itself will remain the centerpiece, ensuring fighter pilots stay relevant for at least another generation. That said, Bronk admits this choice brings challenges: higher costs, years of training, and the risk of dangerous rescue missions if a pilot is shot down. But relying entirely on drones, he argues, would be a gamble the U.S. military isn't ready to take. Not yet. The F-47 will fly with robotic wingmen known as Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCAs. These drones will act as teammates, but the jet itself will remain the centerpiece, ensuring fighter pilots stay relevant for at least another generation. The timing of the jet's unveiling also carried political weight, giving President Donald Trump the chance to claim credit for America's newest and most advanced fighter. Interestingly, Elon Musk, who often dismisses manned aircraft, was reportedly present at the Pentagon briefing. While some believe the skies of the future will belong entirely to drones, the F-47 makes one thing clear: the era of the human pilot is far from over. The U.S. is moving forward with a hybrid approach, mixing proven human judgment with the speed and precision of advanced machines. This isn't just theory. Boeing is already leading the charge. At the Bernstein Strategic Decisions Conference on May 29th, Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg announced the company's major role in developing the F-47, a project backed by the largest internal investment in Boeing's history. Ortberg called the win a milestone, especially for Boeing's St. Louis facility, which already produces the F-15 and F-18. He stressed that being chosen for the next-generation fighter secures the future of that operation for years to come. While he avoided sharing specifics, Ortberg made it clear that Boeing's design is well advanced and that the program has energized the entire team. The message was simple: Boeing has proven it can still deliver cutting-edge solutions for national defense, and the F-47 is the latest proof. The F-47 is set to become the U.S. Air Force's only sixth-generation fighter, marking a sharp departure from past strategies. In the fifth-generation era, the Air Force adopted a high-low mix: the F-22 as a top-tier air superiority fighter, and the F-35 as a more versatile, affordable jet. But the F-22 program faced major setbacks, ending production early and leaving a fleet that is already being phased out. In contrast, during the fourth-generation period, the Air Force operated a broader mix: F-15s for high performance, F-16s as lighter multi-role fighters, and specialized aircraft like the F-111. That strategy spread capabilities across multiple platforms. Now, the decision to rely solely on the F-47 represents a dramatic shift. If the Navy also adopts a variant instead of pursuing its own F/A-XX program, the scale and strategic importance of the F-47 will only grow. At this stage, the Navy's contract remains undecided, with Boeing leading the F-47 program, Northrop Grumman competing, and Lockheed Martin ruled out. The outcome could shape U.S. air power for decades. Unlike the F-22 and F-35, developed in a relatively calm post-Cold War period, the F-47 is being designed in a high-pressure environment. China has already unveiled two sixth-generation prototypes and pushed them rapidly through testing, creating urgent pressure for the U.S. to keep pace. China's vast industrial base, rapid innovation cycle, and heavy R&D investments give it the ability to field advanced fighters quickly. That makes the F-47 more than a new jet. It's America's response to a rising global threat. Delays are no longer an option. Speed and cutting-edge capability are essential. This urgency is also influencing U.S. allies. Japan, concerned about delays in the Global Combat Air Program, GCAP, with the UK and Italy, is exploring backup options. Reports suggest former U.S. President Donald Trump personally pitched Japan on an export version of the F-47 during Boeing's announcement of its win in the NGAD program. At the same time, Japan is considering buying more F-35s to bridge the gap until GCAP is ready. However, skepticism is growing. Insiders blame Italy and the UK for a lack of urgency and difficulty aligning their visions for the program. While GCAP still aims for a next-gen fighter by 2035, Some officials admit the Tempest may not fully replace Typhoons until the 2040s. Japan's fallback plan, more F-35s, would boost its defenses and support U.S. trade talks, but it could also undermine GCAP. If Japan shifts toward the F-47, it would gain earlier access to sixth-generation technology, though at a steep cost of $180–200 million per jet. Still, it offers Tokyo a rare chance to fly America's most advanced fighter, something never allowed with the F-22, while deepening U.S.-Japan military ties. For Japan, balancing long-term commitments with immediate defense needs may prove decisive. And for the U.S., the F-47 is not just another aircraft. It's the key to staying ahead in a race where falling behind is not an option.